Welcome to the Matt Wilkie podcast.
Today I want to talk about Tampo, and this is Welcome to the Philippines Part 12. Tampo is the equivalent in the West of the silent treatment, although in the Philippines somebody could be blanking you for the entire day. The reasons they're blanking you may not be obvious, but then again, that's often quite similar to the West, but sometimes you can get some objections or some clue of what the problem was in the first place, because your partner in the West may actually turn around and make a remark, etc. But Tampo generally involves complete silence, completely blanking you, not wanting to talk to you, may go and sit in another room and ignore you for most of the day. Some of these issues can be non-direct as well. Maybe your partner asked for some money for a relative that's sick, for example, and you said no because you couldn't guarantee that the money would go over to them, etc. And they might still have a little tantrum about it in the hope that you'll come around and give them the money. My personal view on that is not to get blackmailed. In the same way, you may find that people use Tampo because you've done something. For example, say you went out last night and got back late. So they might not be talking to you all day because you were supposed to be doing something else, but instead went to the bar for the afternoon and didn't get back till midnight. So there's a lot of reasons why it happens, but the main point here is understanding how to deal with it. The first thing is you need to identify what the problem was. If they're not talking to you now, you're unlikely to get a response for that day. So my personal view is I'll leave them for a few hours and then go back over it then, or if they're still ignoring you, do it the following day. Because what you find is Tampo is normally a 24-hour thing. So if they're having a point where they're completely blanking you, ignoring you, etc., tomorrow they'll wake up as if nothing happened. Some of this is to do with the way Filipinos often keep things amongst themselves. You know, it's sort of like if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all. So instead of actually arguing with you, they say nothing at all. So you have to understand that this is normal within the Philippines. It happens a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot of people, but it doesn't mean it happens every Tuesday, for example. My wife probably had 2, maybe 3 cases of having Tampo with me in nearly 10 years. There's an example. But I know other people that, because their wives have been much younger, they have tantrums all the time. But that's to do with the relationships. They need counselling more than anything else. But for the average guy, you're going to know what caused the issue, but the main thing is not to shout, inflame the situation, etc., because it ain't going to change the way they're dealing with it, and you're much better to talk to them the following day when they've stopped having Tampo and go over what the issue was. Because if it is something like you went out drinking, whatever, you'll know how to deal with it yourself. If it's something relating to family wanting money, you need to deal with that as well and nip that in the bud. Whatever the reason, you need to be aware what Tampo is and how it can affect things. Thanks for listening.